If you haven't met them, you kind of feel like that. This is not the episode of going ahead and talking about me, all right? Bashing me and talking about my flaws.
But I'm saying. Because I know friends who, like, their sisters are like, I will kill somebody who tries to talk to me about it.
Hey, stop! Hey everyone, welcome back to Relationships It's a Struggle. This is Emmanuel.
And Vanessa.
And today's topic, I'm very interested in going ahead and talking about it because it's concerning not your significant other per se, but your significant other's
parents.
So parents. What happens when you don't like them, they don't like you? That situation, we all know it's awkward, right? I mean, I feel like everyone at least has been through it one time or another. Even if you haven't met them, you kind of feel like that sensation of, hey, I don't know if they're gonna like me, or I don't know, right? So
yeah, I think I think a lot of people can relate to this because, you know, even if you absolutely love them now, or if they love you, maybe at one point, like in the beginning or something, it was like a little rough because, you know, it's new, you know, and sometimes family doesn't like change, or, you know, there's many different reasons why you wouldn't like them or they wouldn't like you.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe it's, what do you feel like it is? I mean, is it more so like the guy's mom doesn't like the girl? Is it more like...
I think so. I think... I really
feel like that's the best, like the most drama, right? Like
I really do, because I feel like girls in general are more drama. But I also feel this way because I feel like moms, especially like Hispanic moms, love to baby their boys.
I don't think it's Hispanic. I think it can be any race. That can be in general.
Maybe. But I feel like they love to spoil them, and like to this day, Emmanuel's mom still like cleans his room and does his laundry. Like it's just, it's
hey. This is not the episode of going ahead and talking about me, all right? Bashing me and talking about my flaws.
But I'm saying. Like, I do really feel like mothers love to take care of their boys. And so when you get a girl that comes in and all of a sudden, you know, they're like, okay, mom, like, she's kind of taking care of me now. They get offended. They don't know how to let go, or they don't know, you know, and I think that's kind of sometimes where a lot of it might stem from.
It's funny because I feel like with girls and moms, it's kind of that drama, right? That like friction of like...
What do you, like an in-law though? Not like their mom.
In-law. No, yeah. In-law, what I'm talking about. Yeah, I feel like there's that friction, right? Because of that whole... I don't know, maybe it is drama, you know? But I feel like with guys, it's more so with the dad sometimes. Most times I feel like, right? But I feel like it's not necessarily about jealousy or anything like that. It's just about ego, right? I feel like
You think so?
I really think so, because... It's like, okay, well, I have my little girl. I'm going to go ahead and introduce her to this other guy.
My little girl.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, whatever. I don't have kids, so I wouldn't necessarily know. Okay, well, whatever.
She's your little girl.
But it's more so ego, right? As far as in that way, right? So I feel like with the in-law of a guy, I feel like the dad is more so like, hey, he's not good enough. He's never going to be good enough. So it's more of an ego thing of like, okay, what does he do? Does he provide? Does he do this?
Yeah.
So that's where the issue arises.
But I think maybe times are different now, because it's like, it's not like back then where like we needed a guy to take care of us because all we were doing was taking care of the kids in the home.
Okay.
So I think times are changing because women can take care of themselves. I mean, women have always been able to take care of themselves, but you know, we're coming
especially like right now,
especially
in the 21st
now
century,
these times where like women, it's like financially we're independent. Like,
they're more in the workforce.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, maybe the dad's perception on that might be changing, but I don't know, because have you ever felt that pressure like on my parents?
I mean,
anything?
Well, no, I mean, not necessarily, because your parents are cool, but I could always, you know, even in past relationships or anything like that, I was always like, meeting the parents was a hard thing. Not necessarily for instance, for me, the mom, the in-law of the girl, is always cool. You know, I feel like they're very cool with meeting a new guy, I mean, I don't know. But I just feel like that.
Or
It's always,
no, maybe it just depends.
it's always the
maybe
dad,
you
right?
Just had a good experience.
No, it's always the dad that you have to go ahead and win over, like the older brother that acts like a dad figure. You know what I mean? So maybe it is like an older brother per se that's a little harder. But I do feel like for women it's always the mom, right? Like the dad is you're not so worried,
also,
right?
No. It's not just the mom, but also like if they have sisters, because I know friends who like their sisters are like, I will kill somebody who tries to talk to my brother.
Hey, stop!
You know?
Yeah.
It's also the sisters. I think it's just that girl thing that's like.
But do you think like somebody has it harder? So let's say you do have siblings, right?
I think the girl has it harder, definitely. Like, we have to make sure the mom likes us because, especially if they're, like, mama's boys, it's like, the mom's going to be feeding them things that are like, oh, she's not good for you. She doesn't do this for you. Like, you need to find somebody that, it's like, he's obviously with me for a reason.
No, but, okay, I didn't mean it like that, right? I meant it as far as, like, older through... So, let's say you have an older sister, older, I'm trying to put myself in the position because, like, let's say for me, right? I'm putting an example of I have 3 older brothers and I have 1 older sister. I'm the baby of the family, right? I feel like my older brothers got it the worst, right? From the in-laws, right? So my mom, I'll say it straight up, my mom doesn't really like any of the in-laws, like the daughter-in-laws, right? I'll be very transparent and honest with that. No. But I'm saying she loves Vanessa, right? Wow. From what I know, I don't know.
Just me.
She loves Vanessa.
I can win over parents.
But I feel like over time, the parents just adapt, right? And I feel like the older siblings get it the worst than the smaller ones.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, they don't like change.
Yeah, I think that's what it might be.
So I think what it is like, okay, my baby, the firstborn, like, I don't want to see them get married. But after you see 1 get married, 2 get married, 3 get married, it's like, okay, like, this is going to happen.
No, I agree with that. But I mean, okay, so we got that out of the way, right? As far as, like, your in-laws not liking each other. But, like, let's say you're in the position of, hey, your in-law doesn't go ahead and your father-in-law or mother-in-law don't like you. How do you go ahead as a significant other kind of mend that? How to put a band-aid over that and make...
I think sometimes it just all depends on what the situation is. I think it's really both parties that need to be making the effort. But I do feel like if the parents are just going to be stubborn and not like you, then it's up to the spouse or significant other to make that effort. Because, again, you want to be with somebody, this is their family. Like if Emmanuel's family for some reason didn't like me, like I would make the effort. And then at a certain point, like if I just kept making the effort, kept making the effort, and I just exhausted myself and we went nowhere, then I would just learn to be cordial with them.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't make your life more difficult, but it's like, okay, at one point it's like,
yeah, and I honestly feel like it's a very sensitive subject because you gotta...
For sure, they're your parents.
Yeah, it's a very sensitive subject, and the thing is, you don't want to go ahead and have this fake relationship because over time, let's say you do get married.
It's not fake.
I mean, it's not fake. It's cordial.
But for the sake of keeping the peace in the family.
Yeah, and that's what I mean though. Like, but the thing is, you have to understand that even if you're cordial, let's say you're cordial, right? Sometimes it's just the parents that aren't cordial. It's sometimes the parents are just rude.
So that's when the spouse or significant other needs to realize that, and kind of like comfort them about feeling a way. I'd be like, I know my mom's difficult. I know my dad, doesn't like you. I know that. Like, I see it. I'm not trying to give you a hard time about it. But at the end of the day, they're still my parents.
No, look.
Unless you want to just stop talking to your parents, but I don't.
No, I think at that point, you really have to go ahead and you have to take responsibility and you have to go ahead and talk to your parents, right? The thing is that obviously what I'm trying to get at is that you do not want to go ahead and not have a relationship with your in-laws, right? You never want to do that because your kids are going to grow up.
But there's a lot of people that are like that.
But over time, like, everybody's going to regret that. You know what I mean? Like, what's better, having a full loving family on both sides? Obviously, yes. So that's what I mean by it comes to that person, the daughter or the son, that has to go ahead and talk to the parents and say, you know what, look, you guys might not like him or her, but you guys have to be cordial as well.
Obviously.
I know. It seems difficult. No, yes, you say you have to be cordial, but the thing is that sometimes the parents are just stubborn.
Yeah.
especially like when they grew up in different times and different eras and everything like that. So you really have to go ahead and put your foot down and say something to the parent itself. Because let's say my parents didn't like Vanessa, right? I would just be like, dude, you got to deal with it, right? Put on that fake smile. I don't care what you have to do, but if you want to be
to your parents or to me?
To the parents, to your parents, to your parents. But if you want us to continue to still be in my life, you have to do this. You have to make this certain sacrifice. Because I feel like in this type of situation, it always goes back to like you always kind of blame your significant other. I feel like, right?
What do you mean?
Like it's always comes to the point where it's like, okay, you have to be cordial, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily you, because you can only do so much, right?
But what if you're in the situation where, you know, somebody doesn't like, say your parents didn't like me, but you kind of were like, well, my parents don't like you, so maybe you need to change this about you. How should I deal with something like that? You know what I mean? Like, say like they didn't like me because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and you know I didn't want to work with. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's just say they were like, no, Vanessa needs to provide, and you know, say they didn't like me for a reason, and then you were like, you know what? Yeah, she should get a job.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I have a job, guys.
It's easier said than done, right? So, I mean, I feel like everyone has different situations. Everyone has a reason why they feel a certain way. So, I don't know. I mean, let's say they were like, you need to get a job, right? I don't know. Have you tried getting a job? Do you want a job? What's your plan? What are your goals? But
I think at that point, it's just like there's a problem in the actual relationship and not necessarily. And then this is another thing that I feel like, you know, people don't like the parents, or the parents don't like them, is because like you grew up differently, you know what I mean? Or there's like different cultures, different religions, that it's like, no, you know, the parents want you to do it their way. You know, I feel like that's a big issue. Like they're always chiming in the relationship, like, well, you should do it like this, or you should do it like that. Especially like if you live with them or they live with you, it's like hell. Well,
that's the thing, man. So man. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, right? So I feel like it's more so you, the person in the relationship, me and Vanessa, that have to put your foot down to your parents, right? And I really feel that way, right?
But why do you feel... Okay, give me examples of why you think people don't like their in-laws or their in-laws don't like them.
Well, I feel like, let's say your instance, right? The mom, right? Let's say my mom didn't like you for whatever reason, right? It's always stupid reasons why. Or maybe it's not.
I don't think so.
Maybe it's not, right? But the situation that you bring up, right? Because I'm a mama's boy or this and that.
Yeah.
Like, let's say that situation, right? Because you're going ahead and taking me away from her, whatever it might be.
Jealous mamas.
Jealous mamas, right? That's where like I have to go ahead and put my foot down and tell them, like, you know what? Look, this is gonna be my significant other. This is gonna be my wife. This is gonna be this and that, and you have to go ahead and adapt. Right?
I know, but give me reasons why they won't like you. I want to know what you think, why your in-laws, or you know, why people's parents don't like them.
The biggest reason why I think that parents don't like a significant other is because you put your laundry out there, right? You tell your parents, this is what she did, this is what happened, this is what I'm going through, I hate this I always do this crap, I always, you know what I mean? You vent to them so much that what are they supposed to do?
Yeah, they're supposed to take your side.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this, Emmanuel's mom, he will be wrong, all in the wrong. Like, Emmanuel could kill somebody, and she, like, no, I mean,
but that's you as a mom.
But like, she will defend him till the end of this world, which I get. You're a mother.
Yes.
I get it. But sometimes it's like, as another female, like, you need to understand my point of view sometimes too. You know what I mean? Like, if he's done wrong, like, you need to talk to him. He's your son, and you need to be like, I didn't raise you this way.
Yeah. So,
you know?
So that's my thing, right? Like, once you start putting your laundry and giving all these details about your relationship, then they're a part of your relationship.
So you think that the main thing is just try to keep your relationship as private as you can?
I mean, yes and no, right? I feel like don't go and talk to them about every single problem you have.
Or problems in general.
The thing is, it's always great to open up, and especially if you have to open up to your parents and like talk about what you're going through, right? But don't do it every single time for every single problem.
So you think it's really the fault? It's our fault.
I mean,
no, I don't think so. Because sometimes I think like people just don't like you just because, like, literally just because, like, they will find any reason not to like you because they don't want to see their precious golden boy with somebody, you know, unless it's like somebody they know. It's like, oh yeah, I know somebody who has the perfect daughter for you. And, you know, it's like,
no. So I mean, as you can tell, it's always going to be a sensitive issue. But I feel like if you guys are really serious about making it work, then you have to have a mend, right? You have to go ahead and
have to, or you just, because I know there's a lot of people that don't talk to their in-laws at all. It's like you take the kids to their house. I'm not.
And I mean, obviously, some stuff happens, right? Like, let's say your past comes up, or like previous girlfriends/wives, or anything like that, and that's the reason why they don't like you. Like,
oh my gosh! Imagine if your in-law was like best friends with their ex. Like, how annoying that would be. Like, I'm sure a lot of you guys have that issue, and I'm so sorry for you. But
yeah, I mean, I want to hear what like the questions is, right? Like, what is your particular issue with the in-laws, right? Because I mean, obviously, I'm going ahead and venting some stuff out from my experiences of having older brothers and older sisters and everything like that. Vanessa, her like siblings are kind of around her age group.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to hear from you guys, right? Why don't you like their in-laws, or like what's preventing you from talking to your in-laws,
or why don't they like you?
Yeah, or why don't they like you? What's the reason, right?
Did you just like get married a month into knowing each other and they don't like you? Like, what? Tell me why they don't like you.
Yeah, so I'm interested to really know about this one, right? So again, guys, thank you guys for listening. Go ahead and follow me on Email Los Angeles on Instagram.
And Vane Los Angeles.
And I want to thank you guys for going ahead and watching this and also listening to our podcast. Again, we're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on every single type of podcast as well. So don't be shy. Go ahead and subscribe to that. Subscribe to this as well.
Also, we're going to be having guests soon.
Yes.
Because I know like we don't go through everything. We don't experience everything that other couples do. So we're going to get other people to come onto the show.
Yeah, because it's all about different perspectives about what they're going on in their life.
So stay tuned for that.
And if you guys have any questions or any topics that you want us to go ahead and talk about, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know. But again, thank you guys so much. This is Emmanuel. Relationships, it's a struggle.